Right, on exit slip 4-9, we're dealing with trying to match these inequalities up here. We know inequalities are like less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. We're going to use those and match those to their written descriptions. And they can word things different ways, and we have to decipher what they mean by that and how I'd represent that with an algebraic inequality here. Okay, so a lot of these words that you can use the same ones again, or some of these mean the same thing. For example, this one, 5 is greater than or equal to x, which means x is smaller. All right, there's another one on here that means the same thing, like x is less than or equal to 5, which means x is smaller. So really, just if I flip them and I flip the inequality in there, they mean the same thing. X is smaller or equal to 5, and in here, same thing. X is smaller than or equal to 5, because 5 is bigger than x. All right, so some of them mean the same thing, so you can pick which one goes where. I'll kind of give both options on these on where they go. So any number greater than or equal to 5, that means our x, any number, whatever we want to call it, we'll call it x, is greater than or equal to 5. So I would write that x is greater than or equal to 5. Any number greater than. So this is x, any number greater than or equal to 5. 6 would work, 7 would work. Infinite answers here. Now the same thing, I'm going to use a little, use this here to kind of separate my two answers. There's another one that looks the same here. I could write 5 is less than or equal to x, which still means x is greater. Both these mean the same thing. X is greater than or equal to 5, that means x is bigger. Well, the open mouth always opens the bigger one, so x is greater than or equal to 5. These are the same thing, so you could have used either one of those up here to represent that. Number 2, and guys, by the way, you can use these more than once too, okay, so I'm not going to cross them off. Number 2, any number no more than 5. So any number no more than 5, so any number we'll call x. No more than 5 means it can be 5. So it has to be less than or equal to 5. Any number no more than 5. And that would mean x has to be less than or equal to 5, because it can't be more than 5. It has to be smaller. All right, so this would also mean the same thing. If I flip them around here, if I had the 5, it's greater than or equal to x. All right, that still means x is smaller or exactly equal to 5. Both those mean the same thing. Okay, number 3, any number greater than 5. So now it can't equal it. So any number greater than 5, x has to be greater than 5. Again, practice reading these as you go. X is greater than 5. So at the same time, I can also have 5 is less than x. Okay, the bigger mouth is facing the x, which means x is larger. We read it, 5 is less than x, which means x is greater than 5. These mean the same thing. Okay, number 4, any number less than 5, any number less than 5. So I would say x is less than 5. Okay, x is less than 5. And I can also reverse that and say 5 is greater than x. Okay, 5 is bigger than x. X is still smaller, just like in here. Okay, so both those answers are correct. Number 5, any number that is at least 5. When you say at least, okay, that means it's 5 or greater. Okay, so x has to be greater than or equal to 5, because x is now at least 5, because it could be 5, but it can be greater as well. All right, so I could also write it as 5 is less than or equal to x, which still means x is at least 5, because it's going to be bigger or at least 5. They mean the same thing. Number 6, a number equal to 5. Okay, so that's just a number, we'll call it x, is equal to 5. Okay, very simple one there. A number is equal to 5, so x has to be 5, whatever that is. Okay, number 7, any number that is at most 5. So if it's at most 5, that means it's going to be less than or equal to 5. The most it can be is 5. So I would write x is less than or equal to 5. And I also could write that on number 7 here is 5 is greater than or equal to x. Okay, so these two mean the same thing. X is still the smaller, or at most it could be exactly 5. Number 8, any number less than or equal to 5. Any number less than or equal to 5. So x is less than or equal to 5. That's your any number x. It's less than or equal to 5. And I can also write it the other way, which would be 5 is greater than or equal to x. Okay, because x is still smaller. It's any number less than or equal to 5. It is smaller than 5 or equal to it because 5 is greater or equal to x. Right, so same thing there. And again, some of these, the same thing as we did in similar ones up above, they're just worded a little bit different. You really got to take your time and read the wording and make sure what you wrote represents that. Number 9, any number 5 or more. So x has to be bigger than 5 or exactly 5. So again, this is x is greater than or equal to 5. And 5 is less than or equal to x. Again, both these would work. Okay, both these would work here. And number 10, any number not equal to 5, that would be up here. They've got the example 5 does not equal x. So 5 does not equal x. Any number not equal to 5, not equal means the equal sign with the slash through it. Okay, so all of these, again, they take a lot of reading and thinking on what x can be. Is it bigger, smaller? Can it be exactly that value? And if you think through those, you should be able to get them to make sense. Just takes a little bit of practice.